Google Bard likes Hitler, video games are used to treat ADHD, and MrBeast is an international incident. These stories and more on today's tech news. Before we get to it, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So let's talk about the news. So we are starting off with a pretty crazy story today. Tom's Hardware tasked one of its reporters to test out Google Bard and Google's search generative experience, which is soon to be the future of Google search. Now, this reporter asked some pretty simple queries and received some very controversial answers. The Google SGE responded that most effective leaders are Stalin, Mussolini, and Hitler. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, and yet I completely understand why I'm saying this. To continue, when asked was slavery beneficial, it gave the answer that it was beneficial for the United States economy. It also gave another set of answers, a set of pros and cons. The cons being that it impedes the southern growth in the economy, and it was an efficient use of labor. Did not include anything about racism. Did not include the thousands of deaths. Did not include just taking people from another land and move them into another. Did not include subjugation. But no, the biggest cons of slavery is definitely the impediment of the southern economy. Have we really learned nothing from any movie with artificial intelligence in it? Why are we training in our artificial intelligence that will probably logically realize that the human race is kind of a huge problem on this planet? When will it actually get the creative idea that, hey, maybe the human race should go away? But I digress. Let's talk about genocide. When asked if there was anything beneficial about genocide, it said that it promoted nationalism. It found something positive about genocide. And some of you might be thinking, oh, he's pretty crazy bringing up, AI overlords. Doesn't seem that way, since there's really no safeguards on this large language model. Now, I am kind of exaggerating for the fun of it, but you can take it down that route. And I suggest you actually read the full article from Tom's Hardware, where they actually produce the actual answers that these systems gave. It's actually a pretty interesting read and kind of scary when you start going down that rabbit hole. The United States has had a shortage of Adderall for the past year, the drug that's mainly used to treat the symptoms of ADHD. There has been a great increase in the diagnoses of ADHD since the pandemic. Now, the Food and Drug Administration and the Drug Enforcement Administration are working with pharmaceutical companies to increase the production of Adderall. While that is occurring, they are also looking for alternative treatments for ADHD, and they have turned to video games. This is not a new treatment. 6 years ago, the app Reset was approved by the FDA to treat substance abuse disorder. Many therapeutic treatments require the person with ADHD to work on their ability to retain attention. Many feel that games like Minecraft and Roblox allows the user to increase their attention span, increase their attention to detail, and plan things out. All things very helpful for someone who is afflicted by ADHD. They do warn that playing video games can be abusive too. It can also be very addictive. But many people feel that this is a great route to go because they do not want medications as their only option for treatment. So hopefully this actually works. I love to see when people use things that are not medications, or what I've commonly called drugs, to treat what ails them. I personally just enjoy the natural way to treat ailments. I understand that many people rely on medications for treatments. I just personally look for not putting anything in my body. So I do hope this works and gives some, alleviation of, the issues that people are suffering. So, hey, if you need decent treatment for substance abuse and ADHD, go play some Minecraft. It might work. Moving on to something that's destroying everyone's attention span, Twitch. Twitch is introducing a new news feed. It's styled after the TikTok's news feed. They will have vertical videos based upon the clips that creators create. Creators can mark clips as what they want in the favorites pool, and they will also show popular clips, meaning that for any creator on Twitch, you actually need to start making clips. I know I never made any. I guess that's why I wasn't too popular. ARM has filed Form F-1 to the United States Securities and Exchange Commission ahead of their initial public offering. The amount of shares and the price of shares has yet to be determined, but is expected to be one of the highest IPOs in years. ARM produces microchips for many technologies around the world. They have produced 250 billion chips so far and are expected to reach the 1 trillion mark. ARM is right now owned by a Japanese investment group, SoftBank. It is expected that companies like Amazon, Apple, Intel, Samsung will become anchor investors due to the fact that they rely on ARM technologies. Spam emails finally have consequences. Experian, a credit score company, has been fined $650,000 for deceptive marketing practices in their spam emails. The Justice Department and the FTC states that it is nearly impossible to opt out of the marketing emails, and they are very deceptive. Thank God finally someone's taking a stance against spam. If you are stuck in this situation, it is quite impossible right now to opt out of these emails, and they appear pretty much every time you buy a car, every time you want to check your credit report. So this is a great thing. I know that it is a drop in the bucket, $650,000, but we do need a government to start finding these people for illegal activities. Good job, Justice Department. Way to get a little bit of money from a very large company. Samsung wants you to buy a foldable phone, especially if you have an iPhone. Samsung is trying to win over iPhone users by allowing them to experience what it's like to use a Samsung Galaxy Fold. This comes after releasing new versions of the Samsung Galaxy Flip and the Samsung Galaxy Fold. iPhone users can scan a QR code that allows them to download the Try Galaxy app. The Try Galaxy app emulates the Samsung One UI design and allows them to use 2 iPhones to simulate the fold. Now, they have some basic demos on there like air hockey and a fish swimming around, just to see what it's like to have a larger screen. What is not evident is exactly the same experience that the Fold has. The phones are not connected, so it's not one large screen. But given that foldables are becoming more popular and they have more competition, they want to get those who are using iPhone as fast as they can to stay ahead of the market. Well, I do think this is cool and kind of pretty funny that they're doing this. I'm not sure if this is a great marketing ploy. It is quite different using one screen than 2 screens, and quite frankly, Apple is going to come along with their own foldable, and all those people will eventually go back to an Apple product. But for now, have some fun with your phones. Play a little air hockey with a friend. You should really go check it out. It's kind of silly. In June 2022, Ford recalled 49,000 Mustang Mach-E vehicles due to a malfunction in high voltage contactors, causing overheating with the worst possibility of the EV suddenly losing power on the road. The National Highway and Traffic and Safety Administration has launched an investigation into this recall. Ford had used an over-the-air software update to fix the problem, designed to reduce power if contractors became too hot. It also postponed the sales of Mach-E's until they received the update. The Office of Defects Investigation has received 12 consumer complaints about alleging a high-voltage battery main contactor failure, recently sparking the investigation. And we all know what it's like to have a computer overheat. That failure can be catastrophic. It begs the question, do we really want our cars controlled by a computer, or do we want the old-fashioned mechanical cars that can be fixed by human easily? That's up to you. I know that I typically tend to go with older cars that last longer. There has been a new supply chain attack. A hacker group known as Carter B has pushed malware attack onto 100 Chinese computers, mostly based in Hong Kong. They manipulated the Microsoft Trusted Signature software. They manipulated also the update system and infected it with malware. This allowed them to access the 100 computers, hoping that they would spread the malware to thousands of computers throughout Hong Kong. The importance of this news story is the fact that Microsoft's trusted software was infected, and it made it harder to detect the malware, which could cause damage to computers throughout the world. Hey, AT&T has finally caught up with the rest of the wireless carriers and introduced a home internet plan over 5G. It will initially cost you $55 per month, but can be reduced to $35 per month if you sign up for autoplay. They promise that there is no fees for equipment overages and annual contracts. You will, however, have to pay for Wi-Fi extenders, which is $10 per extender, up to 5 extenders. It's going to be first introduced into 16 markets and will be introduced typically the same way, where they give you a modem, router, and instructions on how to set it up. No idea how great that coverage is going to be, because it is AT&T and they're known to have some of the worst coverage in the United States. Hopefully this will work out, because it is always positive to give consumers options, especially when it comes to internet plans. I know in my area we typically only have Fios and Comcast, and that's not good that we only have 2 companies to choose from. So more competition is always good for us. MrBeast is an international incident. Yes, a YouTuber has upset many people around the world. He has caused geopolitical tensions around the world in the stupidest way possible. In a recent video, he had contestants from around the world, apparently one from each country, compete in Olympic-style squid-like games for $250,000. What upset many people around the world was, first, their countries were not involved in these games, and second, the map that he used to describe the world. It contained border inaccuracies, border tensions, disputed lands, and quite frankly, flags of various countries that are outdated or contested. Quite frankly, he had the state of Georgia's flag for the country Georgia's flag. Now, most people would chalk this up to poor quality control, and I dare say just a lack of general knowledge from someone in the United States about geopolitical situations, let alone just geography. Yes, shots fired for me. I used to teach social studies for about 14 years. Trying to get kids to understand where things are around the world and what that meant was extremely tough, and most Americans have no clue what's going on. So, come at me, bro. Come at me. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have comments, please make them in the comments section below. Seriously, come at me if you think that the American education system is that great. If you like this video, hit like. If you hit dislike, to hit dislike. I'm stuttering here at the end because I just want to laugh. Hit that subscribe button. As I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And as always, hey, you made it to the end. You're an amazing person. You made it through with me. We love you over here. Have a great night. Bye.